Hey, this is Mario Faust. Welcome to the Miracle Mile podcast. Today we're having Mikey.
Hello.
Mikey
How
Cortez.
are you? How's everybody doing?
Alrighty, so today we're going to be speaking about a couple things. More so, we're going to be focusing mostly on Mikey himself. So we're going to be looking into what he's working on in the future, and then we're going to talk about some reach projects in the end of the everything. So starting off, who are you? Please give your conversation. Give your piece.
Well, my name is Mikey, as a lot of people would know me, but also you can call me Kid Core. That's my artist name or stage name.
What's the Instagram at?
You can find me at the Kid Core.
There you go.
Straight up, all together, all lowercase.
Okay. And so, what does your sound focus on? What are your influences?
Yeah, so mainly, I would say like it's evolved over time from like a mainstream R&B kind of 90s feel, because that's kind of what I grew up listening to, and then it kind of moved more into just singer-songwriter, what is that? Singer-songwriter-esque kind of music, like Ed Sheeran, anything like Olivia Rodriguez, who's like a newer artist that you might have heard. She's like brand new, but she's amazing.
I'll look them up.
Well, she's not new in terms of like how long she's been making
music.
But like
trending wise.
But yeah, like she just got discovered, and she has so much amazing music that like
I have an artist for you if you want an artist. Look up Duendita. I don't know if you've heard about them. Duendita. Duendita.
No, I'm not.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. But
I'll put you on.
Yeah,
like,
send me
vocalists.
links. Yeah. Send me links for
All
sure.
right. Anyway, so back on our main topic, of course. So can you give us a good focus into how music became a focus for you? Like, where did that come from? You have a humble beginning story for us?
Yeah, for the most part, music wasn't like a big part of my life until later. I played 3 sports for about 10 years, so all year round, like literally my whole life revolved around sports. And that was kind of a venture that I took later on in life. When I was in 8th grade, I had like Glee Club, and I remember like just joining because a friend had mentioned like they thought I had potential to sing something.
Yeah, so you mentioned that before. That's an interesting thing. I recall that we came upon the notion of it's always necessary sometimes to hear and chime into what other people have like a perspective of you on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like there's moments where like it would just go right over your head. Someone will say something like, "Oh, hey, I think you'd be good at this," and then you because you're currently in your former self or you're that person.
Yeah.
You might just like breeze over and be like, "Nah, whatever," and then later on it might click in.
Yeah.
For me, that was I had someone that I was close with. He hit me up and was like, honestly, you should do something with music, like entertainment.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I don't know.
It's
always like a second guess.
Like
a second guess.
And again, I was like a really different person back in like high school, and I was like literally the 180 of everything I am now.
Pretty much.
So it was just not in any way, shape, or form a tangible idea for me.
Yeah, I feel like everything back then probably was just so different now than now because of the fact that like
development.
I don't know. I mean,
time.
current day, it's
everything's
pretty
different.
Yeah, current day is insane.
If you went back in time and told your former self, everyone wears masks.
It's kind of hard to fathom still.
So cryptocurrency is the biggest thing, and
I mean, dude, this year actually, I didn't even put it into perspective like that too much for me because that's
so much happened this year.
Yeah, it's scary. It's kind of, I don't know. It's almost unsettling in like my own stomach. It's just like, it's like how fast things can change within a year has
changed by a whole standard.
Yeah, it makes it really hard to think about like what the future is really gonna be like.
Valid. All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So getting back on the topic.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the topic. That was a bit of a tangent. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's a good rabbit hole to go through. Anyway. It's been quite a time. But anyways, so focusing thereafter. So you said that you got into it because of Glee Club and it inspired you.
Yeah.
But thereafter, when did you start taking on the performer names? Like you said prior to Kid Core, you were Cortez. And how did that start off go? Where did you go with that? Did you do like small little tours?
Actually, that's a great question because it's something I actually don't really like think about too often, but it is kind of interesting because like I just went with Cortez. Like basically, I'm gonna start from here. I started in Glee. I fell in love with the idea of acting and being able to perform in general for like the public. And then I moved into high school, got into theater more. And then from there, it was pretty much just, I mean, I started taking music a little more seriously. So I
Okay.
guess I just decided like, hey, I need something to, I need something for other people to be able to find me a little bit easier.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially if I want to get a little bit of a reach.
Uh-huh.
So, I started uploading on pretty much SoundCloud for the
I'm a
first half.
huge SoundCloud.
Yeah,
fan.
I remember you telling me this actually,
huge
like
SoundCloud
one of our
fan.
conversations.
It's just a very very prominent DIY scene, and I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
you can find a lot of good stuff if you go down the rabbit hole. But
for sure.
let's talk about what live shows were for you prior to COVID and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did that go for you? What were your experiences? Where did you go?
Man, live shows. It's weird because I didn't go to my first live show until I was like, it was my 18th birthday.
Go for you.
My 18th birthday, actually. Because I remember it's a weird memory for me because it involves people I don't want to remember.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay because it was such an amazing night that I always think about it anyway. But it's so weird when I think about like, that night would have been so much crazier if those people were there. But regardless, pretty much it was my 18th birthday. It was like the night going into the day of my birthday. So it was like June 3rd. It was like 2016, I believe. The Strokes were performing.
Fun.
Yeah, and like my girlfriend at the time was a huge Strokes fan, and I ended up loving them too. Actually, like after really diving into their music.
Good.
So we went to that concert. It was at Governor's Ball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Governor's Ball.
Dude,
I went.
Bro, that was my first concert ever. Like my first actual festival vibe.
I went to the one in 2019. It was pretty fun.
You know what's funny actually? Like talking about that, it's like people love Coachella.
Yeah.
And I understand why, but I feel like it's just too much.
Okay.
I feel like in a way that like that festival is way too complicated.
Okay. I mean,
do you understand what I mean?
I'm gonna miss festivals in general, but yeah, I do.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's an amazing event, but I feel like they do like there's just too much.
Could you imagine yourself performing at a festival?
Of course, I would love to perform at any of those things. It's just like for me, I feel like the experience as a consumer, right, at a place like Coachella, it's hectic.
You know, honestly, I'll let you in a little secret that
it's hectic.
I've been thinking about for a long minute now. In the long span of things, when like, well, let's say if rather than when, just because it hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
But if everything goes and expands as things are promisingly looking as it could be, I was looking into the idea of having a festival for local artists in our area.
Mm-hmm.
Get in touch with like local government and having like an open field.
That would be super crazy.
But bro, like there's a stage like right on like 60 something and Boulevard East where like the skateboard.
Oh, I know,
like
where
a stage
there's
in
a
a
literal
baseball
stage
field.
there, yeah.
Bro, you could have a whole thing right there.
Yo, wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute.
I've been thinking about this for a minute.
Why the
I've been thinking about this for a minute.
flower bombs?
I don't care if you care.
Okay, no, I just don't know. I don't.
As long as you don't say politically incorrect shit. Like,
okay, yeah,
like,
no,
yeah.
but seriously, I never really thought about the fact that there's a stage there because I used to skate at the skate park that was right there. Which, by the way, rest in peace, West New York Skate Park.
Down.
That's
I heard they're renovating it though.
Yo, like the skate
park.
park.
The skate park. I heard that they're trying to get the skate park. I could be wrong, but I heard that.
If you're watching this right now and you happen to work for the DPW or department that deals with any of that, please tell them to just rebuild it because that park was amazing. And tell them to make sure they also have the same mini half pipe.
Just make it a little less smoke friendly, I guess. That's why I took down.
They did?
You can hide in there and smoke for hours.
Like, I mean, I did it all the time. I'm not gonna lie to
you.
Yeah,
but we're not here to promote like underage children, like 14-year-olds smoking weed.
Yeah. But I can see exactly why they would actually be. I can't be mad at that.
I'm no narc or anything like that for sure. But like it's also like as a local government, you're not here to be like let's give them a place to smoke, dap them up, Like.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, that park is amazing. Please, if you guys can make it happen, that would be amazing.
Anyways, let's get back on touch with the subjects at hand. So, project-wise, what have you been working on? What's in the mindset? What's in the creation of what your craft comes with?
So right now, I have a single that might be going. Well, more than likely, is going live next month. I already have it planned, and I have some things coming up for it soon. more than likely music video will be out very short within the release as well. So I'm excited. I'm back on track. And for those people that may be watching that have like been following me for a minute and feel like I just haven't been doing much,
Yeah.
I understand because you know,
It'd be
like
like
I've been
that.
absent. You
It'd
know,
be
like
like
on the like when it comes to releasing, I've been absent.
I've been doing the same with drawing recently.
And I'm gonna really change that and flip it around this
It's
next
important
year.
to do so, yeah.
So, I have a lot of cool stuff that I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised with what they hear, what
I'm
they
glad to
see.
hear that,
Yeah, it's really cool for me, man. I'm excited. I'm actually very like right after this video, I'll be going to the studio and
What's the
finishing
process
up.
for you? How does creating music go for you from start to finish? If you can just walk me through it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much a melodic singer. Like I'm very
recognize that,
melody based. Even like you can ask people that write music with me a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very good. Like people will ask me,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, how would you sing this? Like no words, just how would you sing it?
Okay.
Like help me with this." And because my mind just locks onto like
Yeah,
when it hears the music, I just
the
feel it.
tone, the pitch.
Yeah, so
That's
I
nice.
mean that's pretty much like one of the biggest building blocks for me, and then it comes with producing. I mean I feel like a lot of practice behind what I do is what gives me like that magic touch because I produce a lot of my own music. I do all that kind of stuff. I mix my own music. I record myself. A lot of people don't understand that. Like there are songs that I have out that other people that I've recorded in other places, but more than 85% of everything you've ever heard me sing on,
You also mix and mastered.
I recorded all of it.
That's hard, honestly. You know,
I recorded all of
I
it.
believe I spoke to you a little bit about this, but the reason that I was so intrigued in doing a podcast originally wasn't even to have a podcast. It was to learn how to do the sound stuff.
Yeah.
Because once I started practicing on FL Studio, I eventually flirted with the idea of production and then creating music and content stuff like that. But my thing is, I wouldn't want to, like, if I ever made music and released it, I wouldn't want to release it out like super publicly. Like like let's say like your local rapper would basically hit up people on their DMs and be like, "Hey yo, I just released my mixtape. Listen to this, yada yada yada."
Yeah.
No shade, by the way. I just personally, I would rather be anonymous with it.
Okay, yeah.
I would much rather.
That. It's a style.
I feel like as much as I respect the rappers and musicians, especially who like work locally, I've recognized as someone who is like the music hoarder who observes music in my local area, is that a lot of the music that people get like trending isn't listened to by your friends. It's listened to by the numbers, the algorithms, the networkings that happen on your social medias or your music apps.
Okay.
And we were speaking about that at one point where it's all about algorithms.
I forget about that.
Because like I remember you had a good point on the fact that a lot of it comes with like learning how to like manipulate and utilize like apps like TikTok and shit like that.
Yeah. So like I mean social media in general is like right now the main frame.
It's the main mecca. There's nowhere else.
Yeah.
There's like,
and TikTok specifically.
Yeah, somehow that shit blew the hell up.
It's insane.
What's gonna happen when the people who are on TikTok grow up? You know what I mean?
I think right now, for anybody watching this as well, if you are a creative and you want to expand, I think right now you should really focus on becoming a presence on TikTok. Simply because of it's literally so easy.
Utilized and so
dude,
accessible.
I have 22 followers on TikTok right now, and I get easily 600 views on like most of my videos, which is insane. That's
hard.
That's like it's weird.
Is
TikTok, what it is.
I have a TikTok, but I barely use it.
Because Instagram used to be like that, and now it's not.
Yeah, now Instagram's more like a personal resume, like a visual resume.
Yeah. We were talking about that as well. It's like a portfolio. It's like you want to know if you want to work with this person, just check their Instagram out.
Yeah, TikTok now seems like the hot feed for how popularized the media is.
It's kind of offsetting too for me, because it's like I feel like everybody's too focused on like what you look like.
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, I feel like those kinds of things are always going to be inevitable. It's kind of like
maybe I'm just feeling old fashioned. Maybe I have an old soul, but I just feel like talent is what matters. Like, are you good at what you do?
Man.
You know
okay,
what I mean?
I have this anecdote that I once shared, I believe, on the podcast. I don't recall if I have, but if I have, sorry. But there's this anecdote that I always like taught me that lesson.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine once showed me an art studio that belonged to his neighbor. And the art studio was like this like giant statues were built like out of marble, like 20 feet statues, like very incredible statues that cost like a rack, 2,000, 3,000, right? And when I asked him about his credentials, I was like, how much, like how often do you sell these things? Like, do you have like a gallery? Like, he said, I usually sell like one or two a month to make ends meet. I was like, That's it. He's like, yeah. And it's like it became so prevalently clear to me that talent is not what creates the soul or the artist's
Yeah.
popularity. It is more so a mix between the talent with extremely good marketing skills that makes that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sure.
because dude, like, how is this man who makes 20-foot statues living in a studio space and barely breaking even?
Yeah.
Making beautiful 20-foot statues.
I mean, definitely.
And then there's someone who, and no shame to the modern art world, but someone paints a canvas blue and sells it for millions. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much so not just that your art is created.
Well, I mean, marketing now is like the biggest thing. I mean, dude, if you have a good marketing team behind you, dude, you can do anything.
Yeah, for certain.
And that's the truth.
Yeah, for certain.
You have to have
honestly,
good
that's
good team with you.
That's what usually drives my my personal interest in being with this team. It's because and I once had a moment where I wasn't with Reach Media Marketing because I had like my own personal things going on and I just needed to like level out.
Yeah.
And when I was off with the team, I remember I had the clarity of being able to see whether I wanted to work independently or if it was better for me to work with Reach. And there was like a big list of pros and cons. Like there's a lot of burdens that come with working with Reach in my own regard, but there's also a lot of pros. But at the end of the day, I recognize that like the reason that I wanted to work at Reach is not only because like it's very fun and enjoyable to network and market with people and also establish connections with local businesses.
Yeah.
But besides that, what really came down to like making an earnest connection with me is the fact that it was so much more powerful of an impact when you work with a team that everyone has the same like-minded community goal.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see that, not just in our like generation, but in our area. It's very rare to see people team up together for the same like-minded ideal of community task. Like, and that's not to say that like, let's say local heads that we all care for or know aren't doing something like that. Like I know plenty of rappers who have some kind of like leeway.
Exactly. Yeah,
I know people who are running community fridges who do it without a marketing.
I think that's
idea.
amazing. I think that's so amazing. They're just great human beings.
But yeah, what really fueled my interest and my passion towards what I do here with Reach Media Marketing is the fact that it's a team effort to do those things. Like if we make a buck out of it, fantastic, cool. But like if we don't, at least we did the community effort, and that's what we focus on here.
That's true.
And honestly,
it is important though.
Yeah,
it's super important because
valid.
Like you gotta like understand that nothing comes free and nothing comes easy in life.
Yeah,
so having that help is always important. It's been hard, like that. I can relate to that only because I know what it's like to be on my own for so long.
Yeah, I know.
Like, with my music in general, like,
there's nothing wrong with going independent. Independent's strong as hell too. It's just it's even more depends impressive. On what the mission you're working on is, in my opinion.
Of course,
if you're working on a mission, like let's say trying to create your own like artistry, and then at some point creating your own record label, yeah, it's kind of an independent run, But if you're doing something like community based, it takes a village. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
so
and
that's how we work about it.
You know what I realized too? There's a lot of like community work that people do that really goes unrecognized, but you think it goes unrecognized.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
You think it goes unrecognized.
All it needs to do is impact one person.
It's insane because a lot of people like when I know a lot of people that probably wouldn't want to do charity work because they're not making enough of that. Which sucks.
That's most of the
sucks because
that's like most ex-employees.
It's the purpose of a charity. Like you're not supposed to be. I mean, there's no reason for greed.
This is a good topic to have because I've seen it happen. I feel like a lot of people out of a surface level will always agree to the idea of supporting local artists and supporting small business and shit like that. And people do believe it to some degree, but everyone, in my opinion, has like a threshold of how far they're willing to go for it. Okay. And, it's somewhere between like saying support local artists and screenshotting some shit or putting it on your story to like investing in an artist or like paying for a mixtape or paying for a startup project.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range, people tend to fall off at some point.
That's true.
And
I could see that.
And honestly, sadly, most people fall off pretty fast after support small businesses. So the thing is that I personally think that it's necessary to recognize that as a factor.
Okay.
But let's keep on talking about.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, it
That
is.
is a good point.
But let's keep on talking about the kid core because I want to like focus this on you and not just ramble on.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So let's talk about.
I'm here to talk.
No, I feel like that's the point, right?
Yeah.
But
I'm here to talk.
so let's talk about your experience, or rather, your favorite lesson when it came to performance. Because performing can be anxious, anxiety-inducing. You know,
Man.
you can have whole ass stage fright. Honestly, I have a little bit of performance anxiety, and I'm here doing this fucking kind of bullshit over here. But anyway, regardless.
Hold on, I need some water.
Yeah, you do, baby. Me too.
Just a side note, I came from snowboarding.
Oh yeah, he did.
And that was that got me a little
fucked up.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm sore. I'm sore, man. This is my second time.
It's gonna kick in the morning, baby.
Honestly, it was so fun though. If nobody's ever done it, please do it. But anyway,
lessons from performing.
Lessons from performing. I feel like the biggest lesson that I got from performing was that you're always overthinking things.
Mm-hmm. As the displayer.
Like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I feel like that's a common thing with a lot of art in general. Mm-hmm. I feel like people really are too
wound up in their imperfections.
They're too keen on like what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're trying to focus on a group of people that really don't exist yet.
Yeah, and then not only that,
everybody's different in a way.
The way I see it is I've had a lot of friends in performing arts and stuff like that who like after the players, say, yo, that shit was incredible. And they would be like, yeah, really? I actually fucked up X, Y, and Z ways. And I'm just like, word. Well, it didn't look like that to me because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people forget that that's a factor. Like
exactly.
when most people pull up to something, let's say besides, let's say you're going to a Kanye West concert and he fucks up the lyrics to a song you know. Exactly. Besides that, most people don't have a rendition as to what it is you're going to be doing. So it's like, a lot of times it's just an internal narrative being like, I fucked up. I pressed the G chord instead of the F one. No way. I am not talented.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what you learned?
It's definitely like one of the more standout things that I learned. That you're always overthinking. Another thing is like it's really important. This is cliche as hell, but it's so important to like prepare. Because when you're up there and like if you ever freeze, like fully freeze, like
yo,
yeah, that's
I used to freeze up in PowerPoint presentations in college. You know, I am not a public speaker.
That sucks. You know what's funny? I feel like it's so weird because I can talk to a camera better than I can talk to people sometimes.
Really, honestly,
That's weird. A lot of people are like the opposite.
You know, ironically, I've been using this event coordinator thing as like a way of shedding off my my stage fright.
Your stage fright,
because
and it's
in college.
That's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Because you're always recording yourself now and doing like media things.
Or like when I was let's pre-COVID, I'd be the announcer and the host for shit. So it's like I kind of had to play the role.
Yeah.
Now it's just not really intimidating.
It's not. It's really not.
I just have like let's say like. You know when a rusty car like turns on and it's like yeah, that's how my public speaking starts. I'm like, all right, well, thank you for coming, and then afterwards I'm like, yeah, so bologna sandwich, you know, like I'm good. But like during the beginning phases, I'm just kind of like, well, hey, how's it going, guys? And then eventually I warm up into the.
Well, it always like, especially like with anything video related or even just on stage, it just feels like that initial start to any conversation that involves speaking to people publicly is like it makes it feel so I don't know, automated. It makes it feel like you have to say it this way when in reality you just got to be human and just talk and like like that's why I have fun doing things like this because it's like it helps me. Number one, it helps me stay on point with like how I should be speaking when it comes to like being on shows and
for sure,
you know. But it's also just important to be able to speak English. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, not just fuck up mid, like, whatever the
that's
fuck.
That's the only thing that I feel is kind of funny for people that are like really quiet. Like, dude, I don't even know if you freaking speak English. Like, I don't hear you talk. Like, or whatever language you speak. Like, it's so funny. Like, I feel like people are really timid to like actually having a conversation nowadays. And that's just a broad retrospect.
I mean,
that's like going off topic. But
Introversion
anyway,
is a different field, but yeah, when it
Yeah.
comes to performances, it's definitely like something you gotta manage and like
If you're
learn
gonna-
and lose. You know
if
what
you
I mean?
want to be out there, you have to be out there.
Yeah, especially with performances.
You know what I mean?
Speaking about performances, we had discussed that we're working on a couple live shows just sprinkled
Yes.
into the spring.
Yes, I
And
hope.
you're gonna be working with us there, I believe, right?
Most definitely. I mean, I'm
Awesome.
hoping we get something soon,
Yeah.
and we can,
We're looking
make
into
it happen.
early mid-April.
okay.
So yeah, very soon.
Oh yeah, that's
very
lit.
soon.
That's lit. No, I mean, I love it, especially like I think we were speaking about having specific venues that I like love, which are kind of like, just homey vibe. I'm not gonna give away where or
Yeah.
like what type of venues we're gonna be at yet.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be a nice vibe that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It's gonna
Um,
be an incredible total.
Yeah, I wish I could speak on it, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, for
We'll talk
sure.
about that later.
Yeah. So essentially, we're gonna focus now on let's talk about our community in general. So
Mhm.
because no creator, no business, and no entrepreneur comes without the surrounding environment that created what they went through.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I want to speak to you about a few peers that you think that are not better than you, not role models, but more so the people that are like your age, your generation,
Most
or of your
definitely.
craft
Most
that
definitely.
are focused on similar fields that you consider respectable peer members in your
Absolutely.
circle.
I have a
or
lot.
or in your like, let's call it your specialties.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean,
You got anyone out there?
man, there's a whole list, but I mean,
It's
if
like your shout out time, if anything.
yeah, no, I mean, I have so many people that I could really shout out, but I wanna talk about the people that really made an impact on me and like motivated me
To do
like,
as you do
people-
now?
Yeah, people that really like I think stand out. Like NJ is
Mhm.
very much one of them. He's
Oh
a
yeah, he's a
local.
fucking
I always
icon.
talk about NJ, but that's because he shows me not only is he a great friend to me, but he's also a really like business savvy person.
Some people just move with a way that is
Yeah.
so powerfully identified.
Yeah, he's just literally identifiable. Like people know what he does. But yeah, like he's a great role model. He's a great mentor. He's a great listener, and like he likes to grow.
Mm.
And like me and him have just always been close. And
Yeah.
he's also a great artist. He makes great music and really has like incredible ideas that always pop into his mind randomly.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
I know it's
Yep.
it's just something in his head that
It
is always
clicks.
going. So that's one person.
Mhm.
I mean, I love my boy Snacks. It's his birthday today. Shout out Snacks.
Aw, happy birthday,
You
Snacks.
probably haven't heard too much of him just yet.
I
He just
heard-
started dropping.
I heard a track at the underground.
Yeah, he just started dropping. So, but his music is insane. Love my boy Bando Baby. Actually,
I actually just met that guy. I've been
He
following
had-
him
he
on
used to
Instagram
be-
for like a year.
he
and
used
I
to be
didn't met- I
Bando
never met him.
Baby. He used to be he used to be Bando then, but now he's Bando Baby.
Okay,
But he's going crazy this year. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people are really sleeping on that. But then again, he don't put his music out there like that just
Yeah.
yet. He's been waiting. Dude, I have a lot of people on mind that I could go with, but those are just a few.
okay,
I mean,
that's enough. Yeah, it's essentially
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, I have a lot more to be honest. I just can't really.
Those are like
they're not coming
those are
till
the first nucleus.
yeah,
away.
the first people that I could really, bro. I mean, I work with so many great people. El Ray. Oh, let me not forget El Ray. My brother El Ray is like.
You're about to go home
amazing.
to be like, damn, I forgot so and so.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it sucks. Like, I'm sorry if I missed anybody, man. Like, there's so many of us out here.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we were talking about that the other time too.
Yeah,
where
there's
it's
so
like,
many of us out here.
there's-
Choco, my boy Choco, who I met
there's-
recently, but he's
It's
also
such a big fucking world. And it's actually kind of intense how much you can at the
Kenji.
same time know so many of the same
I'm just gonna keep
circles.
naming names.
Yeah,
like,
but
at this
Kenji,
point,
this
yo.
guy,
Yeah,
this-
but Kenji, another one that I really respect and admire. Julian about it. Also goes by Little Skull. I'm
yeah.
giving out all their names and
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving out all their
Yeah.
names and shit, man. But
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's really interesting to me how large.
I know them personally. That's why.
It's really interesting to me how large of an area Union City is in the same sense where you can recognize so many different circles and at the same time not know everybody at the same time.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you can be like, oh yeah, that's Key and his people, or this is NG and his people.
exactly.
But then, like, let's say that they have like ride or dies that you don't know about. It's just so common.
And yo, it's weird because like I feel like in this city you know everybody, so it makes it. I don't know. I don't even know what I was gonna get at right there because I started listening to something.
It's just
and
an
then I got off
interesting
track.
universe. It's just
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
interesting universe, and
It
it
is.
calls for me
There's so
as
many people.
as
out
someone who at one point like wanted to reject and deny the worth of this area.
here. Mhm.
It calls for me to like follow it in a way of like investing in how much I care about it. And that's honestly what it is. Like, I feel like if I had the opportunity to like move the fuck out and like go somewhere like worth it and like expensive and shit like that and like live luxury, I would be honestly very empty. And the reason is because like there's so much to do here. Like
there really
like
is.
there like it feels like there's like a resurgence of something rising from this area. And like the way I've described it is I spoke about this with one of my friends once on the podcast with John, I believe, where it feels like so after like a lot of immigrants came like let's say Cubans and then like thereafter other South American residents, all right, when they first came out here, the first thought they had was let's learn to survive so that we can afford to take care of our family and sustain and like like have something so that my kids and their grandkids can survive, right? But what happens thereafter? The first generations are born, the second generations are born, right? And besides, loss of culture ties, like there's people who are more whitewashed than others, whatever you want to say about that, there comes a change of narrative where we're not here trying to figure out how to survive. You and I are not here trying to like figure out survival to meet a woman and have a child and procreate and then hope that he can survive.
Exactly.
We are the survives. Like we're the survived. Like we're the offspring of the survived.
Yeah. So
the way I see it is it comes to bring a question of as to what our role is going to be. Okay. And what I've recognized is that we're all art focused in a way that our generations prior are not.
That's how really interesting.
That's how I've seen that.
It is true though, because I feel like a lot of people like in the last 10, 15 years or so, like I feel like everybody's been trying to do music.
Yeah, it's been a boost.
I'm no different.
Because that's what happens. That's what happens. That's the first step that happens when a society stops unrestingly following finance.
I feel like previous to us, I feel like the biggest, the most popular thing before like entertainment and digital anything was like industrial, learning how to do machines.
Yeah, because again,
that was like the newest invention of like what was going on, and then before that, it's like freaking how to build a coach carriage and like you know what I mean? Like
they're very far generalizations.
Or how to mine.
But the idea that there were different focuses in the generations.
Exactly. So
and our generations before us, maybe one, maybe two more, three of them, were more focused on trying to establish something.
Yeah.
Now, although maybe our parents aren't like owners of the society, there is no longer as the same kind of like urgency I feel in our population. Now it's either kids who are like, there's no meaning to life, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, or there's people our age that are like, no, I'm gonna start focusing on real estate soon. And it's a big range, and I think it's just necessary to recognize that we're just a different generation, and I think that it's gonna be like a renaissance soon, and that's why I'm so fixated on this area personally.
Yeah, well, dude, it's funny that you say like renaissance because I was actually watching, dude. I found these videos on YouTube that blew my mind about like Union City, and like it was just a bunch of different compiled footage of like city back in like 1902.
Yo,
like 1930.
there's a documentary movie. You can ask Terry if he'll let you borrow it.
I might be late.
I have it in my laptop actually. Yeah, it's a Union City documentary that goes really in depth.
I want to see that.
It's really good. It's really good.
It is?
At first, it's a little bit of a dry listen, but thereafter, it gets really impressive. Like,
I'm wondering now because there's a public library up by my house on 14th Street. I'm wondering if that's like a historic library.
I'm not sure.
I have to find out, but like, cause I went there one time when I was younger. They had these like, honestly, it was weird because they had these weird scene setups of like a jail cell and like all these. It was like a museum exhibit, but it was like different rooms and they all had like, it was like a crime scene.
And
then a jail cell was another room, and it was like, I don't know.
This is UC. I'm confused. This is
UC. Yeah, dude. It was just weird though because like this building was like brand new. Like they had just built it.
Was it like a theme or something?
It was like a theme, yeah. It looked like some crazy, like you walk in, and then like you turn right into a room, and it's like a crime scene. With, sounds like
a well thought idea and a consumer who didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. I guess I don't know what was going on, but it was cool though. That building was cool, and I was wondering if like I saw there's a library in the back, and I think there was a lot of like stuff about the city in,
Alright.
in general. Like I think it was mostly
Yeah.
about like Union City.
All right, well, we'll talk about the DVD because I do recommend you watch that now. If that's the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
But we're gonna end this now. We're gonna call this into a promo section now.
for
So,
sure.
so first things first. The kid Core, Mikey
Yes,
Cortez.
sir.
Can you give yourself a little bit of a soapbox as to what's coming up, what you're working
Most
on?
definitely. So first off, I have a single coming out mid-April. So that's basically next month.
Okay.
I also have a video coming out shortly thereafter. Trying to work on some merch for this upcoming summer.
Mhm.
And, you know, I am also obviously planning to do some shows with you guys, but
Yeah.
also potentially going to have a show for my birthday.
Oh, fun. When's your birthday?
June 4th.
Ooh, fun.
So I'm going to keep you updated on that one. But as far as what's actually going on, single going out next month,
Cheers.
music video, and yeah, some merch coming out soon.
Fire. All right, now it's my turn.
Yes.
So, for future references, we are now focusing on a few different projects coming into the month of April. We're going to be trying to have a few live shows peppered into the month, nothing too crazy, probably at most 10, 15 people, at several different coffee shops in our area to promote local coffee shops. Here's the kid Cora as one of the performers that will be there.
Yes, I love coffee.
Besides that, we're also going to be having an art gallery. I believe that that's also part of the project that we're working on. And more importantly, near the end of April, maybe some of May, we'll be focusing on the fashion show. We have a big project going on with the Underground Shop.
That is going to be super dope.
I'm so excited about that
Super
one,
dope.
honestly, because the
Yeah.
fashion scene can really be pioneered from there on after.
Not for nothing, there is so many talented people in this area that make. I mean, we are then again in the embroidery capital of the United States.
Baby.
So there's a reason it was here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm gonna tell
for
you right
sure.
now, it's definitely gonna get showcased in this fashion show.
Yeah. So we'll stay tuned
Super
for
dope.
that. We'll probably have a couple little different things in the work as well. I believe we're gonna be doing live streams. So again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for paying attention. To
Thank
me.
you guys for
Thanks paying
watching.
attention to us, and thanks for watching. Cheers, yo.